New on Curiosity Stream. She was a loving wife, a devoted mother. She also stole atomic secrets and gave them to the Soviets. Meet the woman whose deception kick-started the Cold War on The Spy Who Stole the Atom Bomb. And
what if they catch you?
Then I shall be shot.
They're coming! Come back!
relive history's most death-defying escapes. It's Impossible Escapes, Civil War. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
What's up? It's your boy, The Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the Men's Room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Stephen Throwhill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. Today's shot is short and simple. Today we toast the bomb squad of Butler County, Ohio. And last Thursday, they were dispatched to a local church when a very suspicious bag was found outside of the building. I think we all understand the times we're living in, so nobody takes this stuff lightly. And naturally, when they arrived, the immediate area is cleared, the building is shut down, and then the bomb squad, they get to the delicate task of possibly dismantling a bomb. Now, it helped that there was, in fact, a handwritten note accompanying the bag. The note, written on a napkin, it was not some manifesto. It wasn't any kind of political lunacy, and that's because the note explained what was inside of the bag. It was not a bomb. It was a bag of kittens. That's right. According to the note, Sprinkles would be Mama Cat, had given birth the night before. Owners couldn't take care of them all, so 6 kittens and Sprinkles, the mom, were all placed in the bag.
Why do you think that they would think that that's a bomb without reading the note first? You know what I'm saying? Like, you could hear them meowing in there, right?
I don't know.
Kittens. Maybe not. I don't know.
I would think they're all meowing because my experience, that's all kittens do. It looks like babies cry, right? I mean, they're constantly making noise. Look, I think it's just the times we're living.
I guess so.
You know what I mean? Everybody's crazy about stuff. And violence is always the answer, so I think they saw this. And you can be a church, political building, media unit. Somebody's mad at you for something because they've invented whatever narrative they need. So I think they saw it and said, look, man, we don't know what this is called. And like the cops showed up first. And the cops are like, we're not getting near this. We're not trained, man. We called the bomb squad. And yes, 6 kittens who are now taken to the SPCA.
Nice.
Children of Sprinkles the cat.
Sprinkles.
Yeah, Sprinkles, you whore. So we drink the Sprinkles and her kittens. We pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy!
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola bichona!
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
And Stephen Throwhill, can you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
I sure as hell can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Dill. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola.
Hola. All right, silly Dill. You understand how this here game is played?
I do.
Fantastic. Then you know you have a choice of one of 3 stories. We have the wonderful world of drugs. We have Bite Me. In other words, what did someone find in their food? And finally, interior decorating, where you guess the foreign object that ended up on the inside of someone.
Let's try Bite Me.
Bite Me.
Just eat it. Get yourself an egg and beat it.
All right. Let's go back to Pontiac, Michigan, if you will, where a woman claims that she found something in her McDonald's filet of fish. Quite possibly fish. Andrea Calkins took a couple of bites into her fish sandwich when she noticed something in the meat. She said, quote, I took my nail and I scooped it out and put it on the bread. I was like in shock. You know, it happens to everybody, but it doesn't happen to you. Well, she returned to the McDonald's where she says employees were horrified over her discovery. They refunded her, they refunded her sister who purchased the meal and then asked Calkins if she wanted anything else. But Calkins says she won't eat at McDonald's again. Quote, nope, never. Not even a pop. Nothing. And my advice is for anybody else not to do it either. It's gross. She filed a complaint with the Oakland County Health Department. Is now investigating at McDonald's. They issued the proper statements, But the question is, what did she find in her filet of fish sandwich that freaked her out? Was it a Band-Aid, a roach, a worm, or for Ted, semen?
Oh. You said she scooped it out with her nail?
Yes.
Oh. I think I'm going to go roach today.
Going roach, you said?
Dill's going roach.
Yeah.
I'm going roach with Dill because I want it to be a roach. I want her to bite into a roach.
You know what? I had a fish sandwich earlier. No roaches.
No roaches?
Yeah, roach free.
Well, I hope it cost you less.
It just makes sense that a roach could climb up and get into something and, lodge himself in the breading.
I mean, to me, it makes sense that semen could be in it.
Tartar sauce?
I'm just saying. I mean, that stuff could end up anywhere.
So you're gonna go.
I don't know.
Worm or
What are the
Band-Aid?
choices? Roach, semen. I know those two.
Band-Aid and worm.
But she is like shook over this.
Well, the employees
she's like,
were
I'm not.
horrified upon the discovery. I think that's the tell for me.
Yeah, nobody's happy to see this.
But she
And
wasn't.
with the tartar sauce thing, I don't think you'd be able to tell if it was semen.
Well, I think it was inside the fish.
You should never tell us that.
Yeah.
Or was it on top? She scooped it out of the fish or just out of the sandwich?
I don't know. She just says she took her nail and
fingernail
scooped it
to
out,
get
so
it
I don't
out
know.
there.
Yeah, and I heard about, spreading it on a roll, too. It's hard to spread a roach.
Yeah.
I'm going semen.
Ted's going semen because he's Ted. And Dill, you're going to stick with the roach, right? Me and you are on the roach train?
Sticking with roach.
Okay, we're going to find out what you bit into. Was it a Band-Aid, a roach, a worm, or semen next?
That was a tease.
New on Curiosity Stream.
Just because it hasn't been done before doesn't mean you can't.
Watch Earth's greatest minds forge our path to a better tomorrow. It's engineering the future. And Jaws, Star Wars, The Godfather, E.T. The biggest movies have even bigger music. From King Kong to The Dark Knight. See how musicians scored Hollywood's greatest hits on great film composers' music of the movies. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit CuriosityStream.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
Oh, drat. I was driving along minding my own business when that vulgar leech hit my Beamer with his pickup truck. I fear I've fractured my clavicle.
I say, old boy, don't simply put it in the hands of your insurance company to sort it out. Talk with a dedicated row of solicitors at the Advocates Law Firm.
Pipe down, you old sod. The advocates will see your case through to the bitter end and won't sleep a fortnight until they have victory in their grasp.
Jolly good, old man. Jolly good indeed. You get injured, the advocates get results. AdvocatesLaw.com.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Category Bite Me on profile. This Michigan one from Pontiac. That's just outside of Detroit to me and you. Claims when she bit into her filet of fish sandwich there from McDonald's and something goes in there, she dug it out with her fingernail. Employees were horrified upon the discovery. They gave her a full refund. But either way, the question is, what did she bite into in her fish sandwich? Was it a Band-Aid, a roach, a worm, or semen?
And that is a question that we pose to you, Dill. Dill, we will begin with you. You and our very own Miles Montgomery agreed that it was a roach.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad call, but I'm afraid.
No roach.
It was not a roach. The Ted Smith.
Yes, sir.
You went with semen? Look,
you know I do.
It's a fish sandwich. Probably got the tartar. Easy to hide. No, you sick bastard. As much as you wanted it to be semen in the fish sandwich, it was not. No. Believe it or not, she found a worm.
Huh.
A worm in the fish sandwich. Okay. Probably came from the fish itself, is my guess.
When I was a kid, I saw somebody got like a little bone in their fish sandwich. Traumatized me.
Really? Bone? I'll tell you what, man. I think it was...
Just sometimes, when you know what I mean? Just when you're not expecting a bone in a piece of fish and you get one. But it's no big deal.
But still freaks you out if you don't expect it. We had swordfish. It was for a special. It wasn't normally on the menu. But I remember this thing came in. I never really worked with it before, but whatever. And the chef walked over and basically had to grab all of us and say, hey, the important thing, because apparently at this time, this was very normal in swordfish specifically, but they have worms in them, right? So the fillet is this big pink, this average looking like raw fish, raw meat. And these worms are kind of like dark blue, almost green. You couldn't not see them. Ooh. It was, and we had to take a knife and you dig.
I'm not getting the swordfish.
Dude, I would not. I mean, I don't know the prep on it everywhere. I'm just saying, and this was a respectable restaurant. It's just the point of this was swordfish. And I mean, each fillet averaged about 3 of them, dude. And they kind of look like grubs, but just dark blue green. You dig these things out with a knife and then just cook away.
Cook away. $20. Warm fish.
Yeah.
Good times. Now for all TV news all the time, it's time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box,
Armageddon.
The Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
All right, your choices today will be the Jimmys,
Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon.
Seth Meyers.
All right, Seth Meyers.
Saturday Night Live, Weekend Update.
Yes, I know.
Or Ted Smith.
Is it Ted or is it late night?
That's right, it's right there in the side. All these guys are teams of professional writers come up with their monologues each and every night. It is up to you to determine, is this an actual late-night joke and from whom, or could it be a The Ted Smith original?
Florida officials say two women tried to get a second dose of the vaccine by dressing up as grandmothers, which in Florida means they dressed up as 35-year-olds.
Jimmy Kimmel.
SNL.
It's SNL.
Florida officials say 2 women tried to get a second dose of the vaccine by dressing up as grandmothers, which in Florida just means they dressed up as 35-year-olds.
2 women in Florida dressed up as grandmothers to get a second dose of the vaccine, one in her 30s and the other one in her 40s. They put on bonnets and glasses and showed up to the vaccination site. That's how Bugs Bunny would dress if he was to dress up as an old person and sneak in.
Seth Meyers.
I'm going to go back to SNL.
Jimmy Kimmel.
The women, one in her 30s and the other in her 40s, put on bonnets and glasses and showed up at a vaccination site. That's how Bugs Bunny would dress as an old person to sneak in.
A new study shows that over half of pet owners think they have similar personalities to their pets. The most common personality traits people use to describe their pet included smart, curious, funny, goofy, annoying, and weird. But for most of them, the only thing they have in common with their pet is they also like food.
Ted Smith.
Yeah. Oh, my dog's just like me. No, he's not.
No, he's really not.
He's a dog. He walks on 4s.
He kind of follows your rules because you feed him.
The only difference is no one's walking around picking up after your poop.
Yeah, your dog's more like your wife. They both have bone. Jesus. All right, Jesus. Milk bones. All right, Krispy Kreme is making the landing on Mars. I wish I could read my own. Krispy Kreme is marking the landing on Mars by the rover by selling a limited edition donut modeled after Mars. And it's different from their usual donut, which is modeled after Uranus.
Yes or no?
Yeah, I'll say yes or no.
It is.
Krispy Kreme is marking the landing of the rover on Mars by offering a limited edition donut modeled after Mars. It's different from their usual donut, which is modeled after Uranus.
Tell you what, man, Krispy Kreme does work. Like, whatever happens, like, it seems like days later, they're like, we got a special donut for it.
They're smart, man.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
And they also always are making new stuff, but people always just like Krispy Kreme.
Try their mini donuts yet?
I don't know that I have.
They're like the regular donuts,
but mini?
Smaller.
Exactly.
It's a mini donut.
It's a smaller donut.
Scientists in America have successfully cloned an endangered species for the first time, a black-footed ferret. They did not want to dip into the gene pool, So I guess there was somebody, there's only about 3 of these ferrets left. So they cloned a ferret that had died 30 years ago. Somebody had saved the ferret juice or something. And the new ferret came out and was like, hey guys, let's grab some new Cokes and watch the Cosby Show or something.
Sounds like Kimmel.
Yeah, it's Kimmel.
Scientists here in the United States have successfully cloned an endangered species for the first time ever. A black-footed ferret. They did not want to dip into the gene pool. I think there are only a few of these ferrets left. So they cloned a ferret that died 30 years ago. Somebody saved the ferret juice or something. And when this ferret came out, she was like, hey, let's grab some new Cokes and go watch the Cosby Show.
That's a weird one. That ferret's been dead for 30 years, and they cloned it.
I know. It's really, why am I back?
Yeah. And you know, we all know what we're headed towards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was about the time that a ferret bit me. About 20 years old.
It's probably the same ferret.
Yeah.
You should get him.
He was black.
Mm-hmm.
Black-footed?
His whole body was.
All right. This is just the black-footed ferret.
Oh. Like the tribe, Blackfoot.
All right. So we kind of touched on this earlier. Miles brought it up in one of the random questions. But Disney Plus is saying that some of the Muppet stuff is offensive content. So they're going to put up a little disclaimer back, saying, hey, back then, I like how they're like stereotypes were wildly out of control or something. Like, yeah, all right. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. It's the Muppets. But here's my point I want to get to is I asked this question, but I never got to it. I said, Miss Piggy, is she supposed to be attractive?
To a frog.
My belief, she's supposed to be glamorous at least.
Okay, and but she's also always in charge and everything else. Mm-hmm. So, God, this is a weird question. Can you have I think there's people that might have Miss Piggy energy, but you can't tell a girl she looks like Miss Piggy.
No.
And it's but if I said that, you can't say that. No. I'm not saying you look like Miss Piggy. You kind of have her energy,
her aura.
Right.
Stick with Zsa Zsa Gabor.
Yeah, but most people don't know who Zsa Zsa Gabor is.
Most people don't know who's Miss Piggy.
And I don't know about Zsa Zsa Gabor. All I know is she smacked cops.
She smacked cops, but also, wouldn't Miss Piggy smack a cop?
Well, for sure.
The indignity of, even though I broke the law and you're approaching me to do your job, I'm going to slap you anyway. So, I mean, to me, Miss Piggy, I never personally found her attractive, but my sense is that she's supposed to be attractive, right? She's supposed to be a hot chick on the show, and that's why all the guys swoon over and all that.
Yeah. It was a big, the Muppets, they've had a big year. Remember they were hosting, was it Monday Night Football one day this year? Or Sunday Night Football?
Did they?
Yeah, the Muppets hosted.
Damn.
It was a good year for the Muppets.
Yeah, man. They're on the...
Please excuse...
Somebody must have bought them.
Our big stereotypes.
I don't know. I always thought that one was kind of crazy. All right, so I got a list here of the top 10 most pirated shows of last year, of 2020.
Pirated, huh?
So all these shows then are on streaming services.
That's my guess.
Services.
No, they're not.
Huh.
Okay.
Well, you could... Go ahead, Mike. What do you got?
I'm thinking one of them is Friends because that got shut down off of Netflix this last year.
That is not on there.
Damn.
Yeah. So, basically, Game of Thrones was basically the most pirated show of 2019, all right? And then, I was going to say, Disney, The Mandalorian came in. Oh, okay. Jesus, I just told you. Mandalorian was the number one pirated show last year.
I believe that. I can believe it, yeah.
Now, let's see. That? I can believe it, too.
Who would do that?
This one's kind of interesting because these are just on the CW, but the Flash. It seems like if you just get an antenna, you should get the CW.
Yeah, I would think the CW shows up, and I think it might be in repeats on one of the 8,000 other cable channels.
Is the Flash, is that the guy that's trying to eat people now?
He's a fast guy. I don't know what
Army Hammer?
No. He did not play the Flash.
All right.
Let's double check that.
Another one on the CW, number 9 on the list. These are the most pirated shows of 2020. Arrow.
That's another DC comic book inspired program.
It is. Over on HBO, people were pirating The Outsider.
I don't even know if I know that name.
Yeah, it's a show about a guy that doesn't quite fit in.
I thought of someone who's always locked out of his house.
Seems like a lot of these shows are geared toward the younger clientele that actually knows how to pirate them.
That probably goes along.
Once you're 55, you're like, I don't know.
Right. The Walking Dead makes the list.
Okay.
That's a super popular show. All right, Mike. I'll give you one guess at number 6 of the most pirated shows last year. I'm not even going to ask Miles and Thrill. I know they haven't seen it.
Breaking Bad.
USOB, I'm in.
It's Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty.
Oh.
Next on the list was Star Trek Picard.
Okay, it blows my mind that people are pirating shows that are either streamed regularly or, like I said, some of those CW shows. I think some of them are even rebroadcast on different cable.
Yeah, but maybe the idea is you can watch them so you can binge them. You know what I mean? So instead of waiting every week or trying to find them all.
Well, part of it, too, is it's like some people have accounts and they just give out their password to other people.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Isn't Picard on that CBS Plus, though?
Picard is on CBS All Access.
Right. And I don't think that they can just watch it on regular TV. I think it is only streamed on CBS All Access.
Okay. All right. That makes more sense to me, then.
Next up, Vikings.
I know the name of it.
That's on Prime Video.
Okay. Amazon.
Yeah, I might check that one out. Westworld made it. Number 3 on HBO. I want to say Marshawn Lynch is on the new season 3 of Westworld.
I read that. Somebody sent an email saying that today, and I'm like, wait, what?
Oh, I already knew that.
Oh, you got your finger on the pulse, dog.
All right, Thrill. Mike, this was a big pirated show, and I'm not sure if Miles has watched it yet.
The Boys.
The Boys.
All right.
There you go.
Yeah. That is worth pirating. Do not watch it with your kids. Just...
Yeah, I really like The Boys. I have recommended to a couple people, and then like a beer later, been like, not for you. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, you don't like... Just trust me. Like, you're not going to like it. It's a little
It's
aggressive.
like Deadpool, where it's aggressive, but it's more the language. And I don't mind my kids hearing certain cuss words, but that one, I'm like, I don't want to have to explain what it means, right? If they hear your standard MF or F, whatever, they get it. But they break into territory. I'm like, I know what they mean, but I don't want to explain this to you.
It is someone that fornicates with your mom.
Yeah. Well, it's that, and came out around Halloween, so a lot of people were eating runts.
Yes.
Yeah, the insult cuts deep.
Then The Mandalorian, obviously on Disney Plus, was the number 1 pirated show last year.
Okay. I'm glad The Boys is on there, man. I really am.
Yeah, but The Boys did such a good job. I think, like somebody like me who's not a big superhero person.
You don't have to be.
You don't. You don't have to be.
This is not that.
Like you could just watch it.
Joe.
I will say this: I was watching Regina King on SNL a couple of weeks ago.
I actually thought she was funny.
I liked her.
Ted and I just had the conversation. Not that she's a serious actress, but she always plays pretty intense roles.
Yeah,
and we're just like, man, I don't know if she's gonna be funny. She was actually really funny.
And SNL, I've seen hosts kind of do the same type of joke, but it makes me laugh every time. When, like, they come out and they're like, hey, I'm Regina King. Like, if you're black, you know me from some of your favorite movies. If you're white...
You know me from Watchmen. Yeah. And she was done. That was it.
Well, it's like, what's his name? From Atlanta. And he's a singer.
Childish Gambino.
Yeah. What's his actual name? Glover, right. So it was just funny when he came, he had to do the same thing, and then he was like, white people, you'll know me from this, like Community. He's like, black people, I made Redbone. Right. Yeah, Regina King was good. Last week, I don't know. I might give it another try. Weekend Update was funny.
Sure. I mean, it was all right.
I also felt really old, so I'm not sure I know any songs by Bad Bunny. I know he's a massive artist, but
he's huge, and I don't know anything from him.
SNL does a typical pretty good job of introducing you to like 1 or 2 new artists a year that you probably haven't heard of. Seems like that happens every year. Like I learned an artist from them just based on the guest.
But I learned Bad Bunny because I'm old. Like I know his name, and dude is super, super massive right now. But I didn't know anything he did, and then he did the song. The song was fine, but the whole thing was sang in Spanish. So I'm like, I can't, like, it was fine, but there's nothing for me to sing along to, you know what I mean?
I mean, look, he's in Corona ads with Snoop Dogg.
Right.
That lets you know the level.
That's Bad Bunny, Miles.
Okay.
Bunny.
He's doing all right for himself.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So I guess this was finally going to happen, but Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, they're out of the royal family.
Oh, it's probably a big relief for them. It's all they've been trying to do.
Yeah, so what does all that mean? I keep hearing it, and I don't care. I know it's a big deal, but like...
I think they just lose the titles.
Okay.
They lose the titles. They lose, like... There was responsibilities that came with that and, like, kind of duties of being a prince and this and that.
Sure.
But all that's gone. which now you're just an average couple.
Sort of.
You should have kept the...
It's kind of like losing your middle name. Like, if you had to lose your middle name today, would you care?
Not much.
Yeah, right.
Dude, but they were a royal couple.
But they didn't want to be.
But that's why they didn't want to be.
Yeah.
I don't know. You can't just give that one up.
I think they did.
I know what you mean, but I think if your royalty carries no particular authority, right? It's all traditional, and I get all that. And you're younger, and it's not for you, and just what they know about the inner workings of it. I mean, clearly they're like, look, man, we know what it entails, and we respect it, but it is not.
You're also
for me.
You're also playing on a really old set of antiquated rules. You know what I mean? It's not modernized. They don't modernize that stuff as far as like where you can go, what you can do, who you can affiliate with, who you can talk to, when you can leave the house.
Sure, but also we only know their names because she's a royal and he married her.
Yeah.
It's not like, I mean, she was an actress, but it's not like she was some massive star.
Yeah, but
I just worry 10 years from now, like all these projects they're working on and stuff, like I don't know that people are going to care because you're not in the royal family anymore.
I think people will still care because you've already established yourself as a celebrity, right? I mean, you look at someone like Kim Kardashian, right? She's popular because she put out an underage sex tape. But what she has done since then, I'm not a fan of hers, but what she's done since then has made sense that even this person who had no talent from the jump has created this whole thing where if she does something, it matters. So I think even with them, like, even though they're not part of the royal family, if their first couple of projects are done right, then they'll become important to whatever the projects are, if you know what I mean.
I don't know.
You just like the royal thing, man.
I'm taking them off my fridge.
Okay.
Are you really taking them off the fridge?
Yes. They are up there because they're royals. But now they're not royals anymore. And they're not even calling the queen back.
Well, it's a good thing you don't have nieces and nephews then.
You should let them
coming off the fridge.
Well, now they're still up there.
You don't fridge the nieces and nephews? I think that's something you always have to do. If you have a niece or nephew, you got to put them on the fridge.
Nah, I mean, they're on the counter.
Because they get a new, school picture every year. You just update it.
Yeah. The Christmas, you're right. That one stays up there, but...
So you remember what they look like?
Yeah, I've got nieces and Steve's kids on my refrigerator. That's it.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
But we never sent you pictures.
Yeah, you did. You sent me a Christmas card. You didn't.
Yeah, of course.
People in your family that care do.
We never sent pictures. It's like, I got a card from your family.
I got a real big Zoom link.
Oh, people are like, hey, man, tell your wife thank you. I'm like, for what? Christmas cards. Am I on it? Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
No, you're not.
All right, cool.
Not on the side I flipped over. Yeah, I just got the kids. I don't need to see you every day.
But if you don't have kids, do you bother to send out those Christmas cards?
No.
Right, because I was going to say, like, if my in-laws send me one, it's like one side has the whole family looking ridiculous, and then the other side has kids, and you're right. The only side you look at is the side that has the kids.
Unless it's a funny staged photo.
Or if you've just recently got married.
I'll cut you slack on that. But look, after that, if you don't have kids, nobody cares what you look like. My own parents don't care what I look like. They're here for my kids.
I hang up my Christmas cards I get, like, on a wall. And this year, my buddy, he was at the top of it. And everybody's like, how'd you pick them to be at the top? And I was like, because it's from their wedding. And I'm in that photo.
Okay. Because I'm in it.
So they get top billing.
I thought it was because they could send it first.
Oh, no, not at all. Okay. I kept that spot open.
Thank you, Ted. We appreciate it. You are listening to The Men's Room.
New on Curiosity Stream, she was a loving wife, a devoted mother. She also stole atomic secrets and gave them to the Soviets. Meet the woman whose deception kick-started the Cold War on the spy who stole the atom bomb. And
what if they catch you?
Then I shall be shot.
They're coming! Come back!
relive history's most death-defying escapes. It's Impossible Escapes, Civil War. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit CuriosityStream.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
Hey, all of it, y'all. Thank you so much for listening to the Men's Room podcast.
And thanks to our pals at the Advocates Law Firm for being great partners. Yes, even you, creepy Kyle.
Seriously, though, if you'd been injured as a result of somebody else in your car, on your bike, walking across the street, talk to our friends at the Advocates Law Firm and let them help you out.
Yeah, they're the best injury lawyers around, and they want to make sure that you're not taken advantage of. Plus, your first consultation is free.
It's simple. You get injured, the advocates get results. Contact them today at advocateslaw.com.
Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go to Cincinnati, Ohio, where a massive shipment of Frosted Flakes makes people feel great. Meanwhile, a new thread about how long sex should last is stirring some online debate. Some people say 15 minutes. Some people say an hour and a half. Oregon man has set a new record for how drunk he was behind the wheel. Woman killing time on Google Maps find an island that makes her squeal. And Connecticut woman high on coke and PCP goes to McDonald's. It is time for your headline.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my car.
Top story, we head on down to Oregon where someone has broken a record nobody should ever shoot for. The man was involved in a hit and run, and when police finally caught up to him and attempted to pull him over, he fled, getting into a high-speed chase that ended with him crashing into a concrete barrier. When officers apprehended the man, he blew a record-breaking .77.
Damn!
Roughly 9 times above the legal limit.
Huh. How do you even live through that?
Thank you. I thought, honestly, .5 was lethal. Put you in the ground, you're done.
For normal people, that is what they say.
Right.
And then there's this guy.
You know, and we had this conversation earlier in the office. Your general DUI arrestee, as it were, we've heard some sort of a study where it's not your usual alcoholic. It's somebody who's just, they went a little too hard at the bar at one point.
Sure.
and they went over the line. Again, how do you possibly consume enough to where you're .7?
And your body's still like, let's keep going.
Exactly.
I mean, you're exactly. That's just got to be one of those things. That dude he's got to be drunk all the time. So
right.
His body's just used to functioning like that.
Right. He usually functions at like a .2, but then he just...
Right, but .2, then he pulls his ass over. You hit that .7, now we can tell.
He had to have just ripped the bottle, right?
God, man.
One of those chug challenges that are going on right now where somebody just tries to down an entire bottle of Jack Daniels or something like that.
But everyone else
don't do that.
Do not do that.
Absolutely don't do that. Look at the video of the guy that tried to chug a bottle of Patron, and that'll deter you from trying to do that. Your body does not want that.
My favorite is, was it Hennessy, Ted?
Yeah.
The brother sitting in the car like, oh, man, you would challenge me. He's going on and on and on. The way he's setting it up, and he's being serious, as though someone has challenged him to do like 8 shots. He pulls out a little travel-size Henny.
Nice.
And I can tell you from much experience, we can crush those in a swallow. My man takes like the smallest sip off the top. It just starts retching.
In all fairness, Hennessy is not very good straight.
Man. But still, I mean, it wasn't even like a real shot.
No, I know, but he just goes on and on.
Y'all gonna say this about me.
You think I can't do it? And then she's like, God damn it. Oh, it burns. Like, God damn.
Chug challenges are not a thing. Do not let it be a thing, kids.
Right? I mean, there's beer bongs. You don't put liquor in them.
Right.
Public service announcement.
Right. Because there's a difference. With the beer chug, you're going to feel sick. With the alcohol, you're going to die. And I'm not kidding. You're going to die. Don't do it. In other news, we go to the internet sphere where a new conversation on TikTok is raising some eyebrows. The newest question trend going around is asking an age-old question: how long should sex last? What do you guys think?
Till I'm done.
Mm-hmm. I mean, are we talking about the physical active sex or the whole encounter, like the foreplay and stuff?
Your call, Ted. Whether we're doing the pre-workout or whether we're just talking about the game time here.
19 minutes.
19 minutes. Okay.
How much longer is that than you normally last? Because I feel like it's one of those, all right, I'm going to give an answer I know to be true of me, and I'm going to add some minutes to this.
The answer is about what you'd think. It depends on who you ask. But the real debate started when somebody boldly proclaimed that if it doesn't last an hour, they don't want it. And there was a couple people that
What's
made
her
that.
name?
Thank you.
Well,
exactly.
Sometimes you watch a 3-minute video. Sometimes you watch a half-hour show. Sometimes you watch a 2.5-hour movie. It just depends on what's going on.
Yeah, but
this spurred a wave of responses, most in their 30s and 40s, giving them modest 15 minutes with the pre-workout included.
Yeah, I'll say sustainability, man.
Exactly.
I mean, I'd love to rock your ass for an hour, but my penis disagrees.
Right, and I don't care what gender it was. For the men, like you said, we just can't go that long. And for ladies, things start to get a little bit painful after a while.
I mean, if you had foreplay, all that stuff's great, right? And if you're willing for me to take that, the quick time out.
Right.
You got to recharge,
Give me a Gatorade break,
for
man.
Sure. Maybe like a turkey sandwich.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's very specific, but okay.
Let me replenish my vitals, man. Damn. When confronting the police, it's important to have all your boxes checked. 2 young gentlemen, aged 19 and 20, both drove their way down to the police station to lodge a complaint about their conduct earlier. The complaint fell on deaf ears, however, as both underage men were well intoxicated inside the station.
Yeah, good call, fellas.
One of the two was arrested on DUI charges, and the other was arrested on drunken disorderly as he was belligerent inside of the station.
And you're both underage already.
Correct. You're 19 and 20. You've already been hit with underage drinking. And I get it. You want to lodge a complaint. They did things that you disagree with. You want to get some justice for it. I get it. Have at it. Don't be drunk and drive your way down to the station. Well done, moron. All right, guys. We talked about it a little bit earlier today, but what is the worst cereal that is on the shelf out there?
Grape Nuts.
Grape Nuts. Miles, worst cereal out there.
Shredded wheat. I take that back.
Just those little corn puffs.
The corn pops?
Yeah, hate those. It tastes like styrofoam. Like Kicks and all that stuff.
The disrespect in here, Ted.
That is so disrespectful.
What do you
Mike
think?
and I were talking about that earlier. Yeah, I'll go with Grape Nuts. People seem to hate it.
You're right, guys. It's cornflakes, but don't worry, it's about to be your favorite. Down in Peru, a shipment of the cereal was intercepted by authorities that didn't believe the shipment was on the up and up, and they were right. After unboxing the cereal, they found that the flakes had been frosted, if you get my drift.
Okay.
The 44 pounds of cereal had a street value of about $3 million due to all the cocaine that was coating that.
The only reason I would buy cornflakes is because you have cocaine on them.
Right.
And even then, I want to say it was the dog that sent them the message. They had a picture of the dog. It looks like any other German shit, just silly looking thing, but basically it smelled the box like there's cocaine on those cornflakes, man.
They were also tipped off because it was just like nobody's shipping this many cornflakes.
No!
Right. This cereal sucks.
Right. If it had been Cinnamon Toast Crunch, they don't even look.
If those were Frosted Flakes, guess what? They're millionaires.
That's right.
Cornflakes, like, come on, man.
Yeah, this doesn't make sense.
We haven't replenished stores since the 50s.
Right.
And that is it for your headlines. With that, Mike Hawk is out.
Thank you, Mike. We appreciate it. We'll see you next time around for a Sit and Spin special guest, Angus Young from AC/DC, joining us tomorrow.
Yes, indeed. It is all true. Suck on that. In the meantime, we be all up out this bitch. So until next time, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The men's room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network.
Oh, man!
A Double Flush production.
That's news under the hour. From KISW in Seattle.
50 years of KISW.
New Nirvana, FM 100, KISW, the world premiere of Led Zeppelin's Coda.
I was a fan of KISW before I even walked in the door.
99.9 KISW! And KISW HD1 Seattle. A radio.com station.